our top story. They picked the wrong target.
I fear for my life.
A North City woman held at gunpoint by two would-be robbers, but it was a 13-year-old suspect who ended up getting shot. Tonight, that 13-year-old is in custody as police look for a second teenager. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The woman they attempted to rob is talking only to our Robert Townsend about the moment she decided to pull out her own gun. Robert joins us live from police headquarters downtown.
Mike, that woman has owned her gun for 2 years. She tells me she fired it for the first time last night at those two teens because she feared for her life.
Now, this is the difference between legal gun owners and these thugs in these democratically run cities and other cities everywhere. They wouldn't have a gun for 2 weeks, 2 days, and not shoot it. When they have a gun in their little clique, if you got a gun and you ain't using it, it's just, especially those little 13, 14, 15-year-olds, it's like, what do you have a gun for? And I'm not talking about firing it, but I'm talking about maybe using it for a robbery, something like that, or to intimidate somebody, or something. So this sister had her gun for 2 years before she fired it. And she only fired it in the middle of a carjacking, which lets you know the difference, man. Everybody talking about how the guns getting in the community. Well, the guns getting in the community through the black market. Same way when you used to get bootleg DVDs and bootleg VHS cassettes back in the day. The black market. Everybody acts stupid with these guns. Like the Illuminati planting guns in our community. Nah. Gun runners. So the guns are in the community heavy. They're using them. In most of these democratically run cities, me and you, we can't get a gun. It's very hard. A lot of hoops we got to jump through to get a gun. The laws are not on our side if we're caught with it. And we don't want to go to jail because all of our friends aren't in jail. The difference between us and the thug is that the thug goes to jail and he knows everybody, or he knows a bunch of people, and he's at home in his element. Or juvenile hall in this case. He's at home. Worst case scenario, because most of these kids aren't going to do a day in jail or a day in juvie. But worst case scenario, juvenile hall, they're at home. A little bit older, jail, they're at home. The citizens, you don't want to go to jail and be in there with all that riffraff and all those oddballs and misfits and transients, and it's like junkies in there and just gangsters and hoodlums and all type of riffraff and scallywags up in that joint, man. You don't want to be in jail. So you're more likely to obey the laws. But these kids, these thugs on the streets, however old they are, they don't care about none of that. They don't care about going to jail. They don't care about catching a charge. It doesn't mean anything to them. They don't think the system is racist. They know the system. Look at their record when they get caught in these stories. And tell me, if that person was on the streets with that record, does that person think that the system is racist, or is it just your cornball protesting, want to be a activist to get some street cred that you couldn't get in the streets, but you're going to get it now through BLM and protesting? You're going to get your street cred on the back end, right?
Mike, that woman has owned her gun for 2 years. She tells me she fired it for the first time last night at those two teens because she feared for her life.
I was coming from choir rehearsal.
Just seconds after she parked her car outside her apartment near Natural Bridge in Goodfellow Monday night, this 37-year-old woman couldn't believe what happened in a flash.
Now, this looked like a rough spot, man. if this spot is in St. Louis, which, and you know it's probably 99% Sun people, and don't look at the cars, because some people nobody spends such a disproportionate amount of their income on trivial things. Like, you'll see some nice cars, and nobody has anything in their savings. Nobody has anything in their child savings. Nobody has life insurance. Nobody has a college fund. Nobody has a trust fund. Nobody has anything for the future. So don't look at these cars. I'm sure that this is a rough spot. I can just look at it and tell. Why would she say that she never could believe this? We got to stop doing that. Acting like it's a shock every time. Because what that shows is that you're aware of the situation, but you think it's not going to be you. How could you live here? All these buildings, these apartment buildings. Nothing but Sun people and their kids. Sun women and their kids. And think that, oh, it's a shock that I got carjacked.
Seconds after she parked her car outside her apartment near Natural Bridge in Goodfellow Monday night, this 37-year-old woman couldn't believe what happened in a flash.
The two young men were passing me, and I seen a young man. He looked back at me, so kind of put me on alert.
She says a boy, police tell us, is just 13, first asked to use her cell phone. He was with an older teen, about 16 years old.
The other young man said, "So you don't have a phone?" I said, "No, I don't." And he put out his gun and he said, "Well, give me your keys."
The woman says the 13-year-old took off with her keys and kept trying to start her car. She says that boy kept his hand wrapped in a piece of clothing as if he had a gun, but never revealed one.
And my mind frame was to keep the other gentleman calm, so therefore, he wouldn't shoot. It was pretty.
If y'all call one of these thugs a gentleman again, and I had to be called everything except for a child of God when I was online the whole last 2 years when I was voting for Trump. These sisters called me everything but a child of God because I wouldn't vote for Joe Biden. They was mad. I showed you guys a lot of the tweets. They was mad at me on they was calling me everything except for a child of God. But these guys is gentlemen. And you see that in a lot of the stories. They always refer to these guys as gentlemen. It's the oddest thing. And then not being sarcastic, because some people don't do sarcasm. We don't process. Sarcasm is abstract. So we don't process that. They're not being sarcastic. And they're calling them gentlemen. It's the oddest thing.
She says that boy kept his hand wrapped in a piece of clothing as if he had a gun, but never revealed one.
And my mind frame was to keep the other gentleman calm, so therefore, he wouldn't shoot. It was pretty frightening.
Despite her fears.
And as he was walking down the steps, he was walking backwards with the gun towards me, and that's when I fired.
She pulled her gun out of her little black purse and fired multiple times as the teens took off.
Now, I will give this sister a lot of credit. She is cold as ice to pull that gun out, because these little savages will kill you just to say they got a body. Just to brag about it and laugh about it. So they can say they killed somebody. So for her to be in that situation, and I'm sure she knows, regardless of what she said, she know how much danger she was in. To be able to pull that out and fire at them kids and send them running, salute to her, man. She's definitely a G. I hear a lot of sisters talking about sisters need to arm themselves on the on the BWE channels, and easier said than done, but this one, she really she's been packing for 2 years. So she's been packing since before this wave, the 2020 crime wave that's, caused all these sisters to start getting murked. But she's real deal did what she had to do, and she kept it in this little purse. Salute to this sister, man.
Despite her fears,
And as he was walking down the steps, he was walking backwards with the gun towards me, and that's when I fired.
she pulled her gun out of her little black purse and fired multiple times as the teens took off.
It's the sixth round, and I let the clip loose, so yeah, all six. In fear of my life.
She shot the 13-year-old in his leg. Police found the wounded teen a block over on Hebert Street.
So this is where this woman lives. This is the other side. And what kind of neighborhood do you think this is, Chad? You think this is a nice neighborhood? I mean, she's shocked. She has a gun. First of all, like 1% of women carry guns. She's carrying a gun. And she's completely shocked when some gentlemen try to carjack her. Think about this. This is not like a gentrified neighborhood where it's mixed in crowd. You know, everyone here is a Sun person. What kind of neighborhood do you think this is?
She shot the 13-year-old in his leg. Police found the wounded teen a block over on Hebert Street.
It's very upsetting because it's a tangible thing. It's a car. My life can never be replaced.
We can begin to turn this ship around.
The Urban League's James Clark says youth violence remains an ongoing problem in St. Louis.
The solutions start in the neighborhood, on the front porch, and in the living room.
But I am very grateful to be alive.
The woman was not physically hurt, but she tells me she is still dealing with lots of emotional scars as a result of that encounter. We're live downtown. I'm Robert Townsend. 5 on your...
An immigrant says his good deed almost cost him his life. He's talking only to 5 on your side. Our Robert Townsend is live outside police headquarters with the man's harrowing story.
And the Good Samaritan tells me he had no idea that his good deed would backfire on him.
Y'all not sharing these videos. I tell y'all. What did I say? And I haven't said this in a while, but I used to say this all the time. In the stand, no act of kindness goes unpunished. None. If you haven't been punished yet, just wait. I know a lot of y'all thinking, well, I did something nice and I haven't been punished yet. Wait. Just wait. No act of kindness goes unpunished in the stand. I promise you that. Your punishment is on its way. It's just taking a little while. Some of y'all already got it. Y'all got it immediately. But no act of kindness goes unpunished.
And the Good Samaritan tells me he had no idea that his good deed would backfire on him. 48-year-old Sylvester Conate says all of his life he's had a passion for helping people. The part-time food deliverer is originally from Liberia, West Africa. He's lived in St. Louis for 3 years.
I work for humanitarian organizations back home and here. So I love to help people when there's a need to help.
On September 21st, Conate says he was filling up his tank at this gas station in South St. Louis when a boy he'd never seen before approached him near Grand and Osceola.
And when he came by, he was like, my mom wants you to drop us off.
Conate didn't hesitate to give the woman and her 11-year-old son a ride to the 4200 block of Page on the city's north side.
He said he worked for humanitarian groups in Liberia and here. So he's a good guy. You know this. You don't see a lot of us work like doing that type of work. Salute to him, man. Salute to him. You just gotta keep your eyes on your pocket. Keep your eyes. You just gotta keep your eyes open and your wallet in your front pocket, man. This guy Man. Jeez. You gave a random group of, and listen, I could see it. This a kid and a woman. That is you're not thinking, but you just can't afford. And this is terrible because a lot of good people that need help, you won't be able to help them for your safety because you got to make it home.
Make 11 page and stop at a destination that she claims to be her house. The mom got down from the vehicle, passed around, came here. Can you give me a hug? And I was like, no, that's okay, I'm fine.
Within moments, the Good Samaritan
My car is just in park, but the engine is beating. The key is in the initial. The son is right here.
says the woman signaled her son to pistol whip him several times.
There was a cut right here on my forehead.
The disoriented driver remembers the mom then dragged him out of his car.
I was never afraid.
Wow. I remember there used to be stories of moms that would go shoplifting with their kids. They would use their kids as either decoys or use the kids to steal. But that was before 2020. Now 2020 happened, and now moms are using their kids to carjack people. Wow.
He is in the initial. The son is right here.
Says the woman signaled her son to pistol whip him several times.
There was a cut right here on my forehead.
The disoriented driver remembers the mom then dragged him out of his car.
I was never afraid. I'm not going to lose my life for a vehicle. That's when I push her and I drop out and they took over the vehicle.
The lucky driver got his car back over the weekend. More importantly, though, he's counting his blessings that he can still be there for his 8 kids.
This man's got 8 kids. He's over here working his butt off. He's probably one of the people I used to see in Western Union or the check cashing place where they send all the money back. It's usually either people from Central America or West Africa. They send tons of money back. They're always sending money back home, taking care of whole families back home while working here, living in an apartment, struggling, but they take care of their family back home. 8 kids back home. And he's got some hood booger in her hell spawn about to take his life, but he was smart. He jumped out of the car. He did the right thing. He got out of the car. He just got away and let them have the car.
I was never afraid. I'm not going to lose my life for a vehicle. That's when I push her and I drop out and they took over the vehicle.
The lucky driver got his car back over the weekend. More importantly, though, he's counting his blessings that he can still be there for his 8 kids.
I'm grateful. I'm the happiest person. I do regret. Because after I was being a humanitarian and not even expecting a mom with a teenager to be a criminal.
Now, police are still looking for the mother and son. If they're caught, Conate says he does not want to see them get off easy. We're live downtown, Robert Townsend.
You see how the Florida, he like, man, I don't want to see him get off easy. Salute to him, man. All this, I pray for them. I don't want nothing to happen to them. They need the diversionary program. Nah. She got this little boy out here committing crimes. She doing the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing with her son. Nah, man. She need to sit down for a bit, man. They ain't gonna do nothing to him because, he's just a son teen. Son teens don't get no punishment in America in 2020. But they need to sit her down for a minute. Corrupting the minor. Like, that boy could have got killed. Like, what if that guy pulled out a gun and smoked that little kid? Get in the comment section, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Share these videos. Peace. I'm out.